Okay, so I'm at the point in the video where I mention that the code is open source and you can use it, and as such, I suppose I should explain how it works, or how to use it, rather. So, let's get to Gitpo, and first things first, the code works on Linux, which means the first thing you'll need is Linux. If you have Windows, don't worry, you can just install Linux on Windows, which is how I actually run it. As the article, you can just go check it out, you can go and, well, follow it. I'm not going to explain much there. Once you have installed it, all you need to do is just type in WSL and that starts it, and there we go, congratulations, I am right now on Linux, brilliant. Now, in order to actually run the code, you're going to need two things. First of all, you're going to need to compile C, and second of all, you're going to need to run Python. In order to compile C, all you need to do is apt install GCC, I think should work. There we go, apparently it does. And then apt install Python, if I'm not mistaken, should also work, or Python 3. There we are. I already have them installed, that's why nothing happened, but that's only to install GCC, which will compile C, and Python, which will run Python. Then, in order to actually run the engine, first thing we need to do is compile the C code, which is a bit, well, we do this. In this case, I am rendering the graph.c file, so graph.c is what I want to compile, along with the engine/engine C. And then we want to link mathematics, then output as taxi, just taxi. There we go. Now we have our program which will render the image, but it will render the image into the buffer. So next what we need to do is run it. There we go, it has been run. And then finally we need to render that buffer into this image we have right here so that we can actually see it, because the buffer itself is a bit, well, it's not exactly all that readable at this point since I have the colors. So let's just do this, then render.py, and congratulations, nothing changed, but if I go right here and then change the color of the left eye, for example, to be more teal, like so, then if I compile it, then if I run it, then if I render, ta-da, it works. You can do all of it at the same time if you just do this, and this, and this. This just runs all three of them at the same time. You don't actually exactly need to know how it works. You can just copy the command and it should work just fine. The point is, this right here is the name of the file that actually renders the image, that actually creates the image. And so this is the file you want to edit. And in this case, if you want to create a shape, you just create a new shape. So for example, the brick could be a good example. Right here I'm creating a brick shape. Then for the brick I can give it some kind of color, which right here is gray, but let's change it to be red. The color mixing at the moment of this recording is messed up, so I will need to fix that, don't worry, I will eventually. Then right here I'm adding some points to the brick. Here are the coordinates of the points, x and y coordinates of each point. And now if I run it, we get a brick in the middle, a red brick. Once again, the color mixing is a bit messed up, don't worry, I'll fix that eventually. Then if you want to add an arc to the brick, then all you need to do is this. If you hover over it, if you have VS Code, you can just hover over it, but almost any IDE would work. Or any, well, text editor basically. But right here we can see that first we have the x coordinate, then y coordinate, then phase, radius, angle, number, and then flip. If I render it right now, I imagine we're gonna get something wacky. Yeah, because this is just a random arc it's drawing right here, and then it needs to connect all these points, so it is getting slightly confused. But if I lower it down, like so, if I decrease the radius, for example, to be something smaller, like 0.07, so a really tiny arc, then it will just draw the arc right here. It's connecting the first point to it, well, the last point to the arc, to the first, back to the first point, which is why it's drawing it in such a wacky way, but the point is it works. It's not exactly usable, it's not exactly easy to use, it's not exactly convenient, but it works, and that's already progress. I will keep upgrading it over time, and hopefully I'll be adding more features, and eventually I might even add documentation. We'll see. I mean, the future